Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and my name is Siri. In this video, we are going to talk about 3 tips that can help you to speak English better. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So all the 3 tips are the ones that I have followed in the process of learning English and I have seen great results in myself, because of which I've decided to share them with all of you. So talking about tip number 1, which is to learn basics. I have mentioned about this one particular tip in many of my previous videos, but I just thought of explaining it in detail in this video so that you can use it to the best. So talking about learning basics, by this I do not mean that you have to learn all the basics of grammar or all the basics that are there in English. We are considering English as a language over here, not as a subject, right? So when it comes to language, you should first know the basics of the language. That means how to greet a person, how to start a conversations, or what are the basic phrases that we use in our daily life. So these are the basics in my opinion. So first you try to learn these. Later, whatever you have to learn, that will be taken care of when you are in the process eventually. Alright. When I say that you have to watch interviews, by that I mean that you should observe what is being spoken over there. What are the questions that are being asked by the interviewer to the celebrity. Okay, so those are the basic sentences that we are going to use in our daily life, right? So these are the basics that we should try and figure out right in the beginning, so that we can be clear with them, and later we can focus on all the advanced or fancy words that we want to develop. Alright, so this is tip number 1 that we all definitely need to focus on, which is to learn basics. Learn your basics first. Once you clear them, whatever has to happen, it will be taken care of eventually, because this is something that I have done in the process of learning this language. I always used to focus on people who would greet. Like if somebody is greeting some other person in English, I would try and observe what are the phrases that are being used over there. Can I use them in my life? So these are the basics that I tried to clear right in the beginning. I think that helped me to a great extent. So talking about tip number 2, which is speak slowly in the initial days of your journey. We all want to speak in English, but when you are in the initial days of learning this language, we all get this thought that, okay, I want to show off my English to a lot of people out there just by speaking it fast. I'm telling you, do not make this mistake right in the beginning. You are in the initial days of learning this language. Try to speak as slowly as you can, because here we have to try our best to avoid confusion, not to create the confusion. When you speak fast, you are not letting your brain to think about the words that you want to speak. Okay, when you started to learn this language, your brain is not going to be very much active, because you have just started. It will take some time to adapt everything that you're trying to learn. So try to speak slowly in the initial days, and the way you speak will be taken care of eventually when you are in the process. That is not even something that you have to focus on when you are in the process, when you have reached a certain level in this language. But in the initial days, we have to give it more care. We have to take care of it even more. We have to focus on the way we speak. We have to focus on the speed that we are speaking. So in the initial days, speak slowly. Later, you want to increase your speed while speaking, that's up to you. But I'm talking about beginners. In the initial days, try to speak as slowly as you can to avoid confusion and to speak in a better manner, and to allot time to think about what we are speaking in a conversation. So this is tip number 2. Tip number 3 is that learning from situations. I give a lot of importance to this one particular tip because it helped me a lot. I always looked at English as a language, not as a subject. Subject, we learned that in school, but I'm talking about language over here. So English as a language. So we have to try and learn from situations which require us to speak in English, which require us to listen to English, or watch English, or read English, or write English. Okay, let's say you are in a conversation. you are speaking to a person. So there are going to be a lot of words that you do not know, but the other person would know those words, right? So in that particular situation, you have to learn the words that you do not know. You have to learn the phrases that you do not know. That is what is learning from situation mean, in my opinion. That is what I always used to do. I always used to try and speak to a lot of people in English in order to learn something or the other from them. Because you are different, I am different. There are few things that you know, there are few things that I know. So it's all about exchanging the knowledge. Alright. So you can learn from a lot of situations. You can learn from a lot of people out there. Let's say you're watching something. You're watching some English content. You're watching a vlog. You're watching an interview. You're just watching a motivational video. It could be anything. You can learn something or the other from that. So you have to learn from situations. Alright. So that is what I'm trying to tell you over here. I have suggested you one podcast called Mahabharat, which is in Spotify. I'll leave the link to that podcast in the description below. You can check it out. That podcast is just brilliant. I have learned so many words, so many phrases from that podcast, which I use in my daily life. They're really nice. So there are going to be a lot of phrases that you can learn by listening to a lot of podcasts. There are going to be a lot of words that you can learn by listening to a podcast, or just by speaking to the other person, or by watching a lot of content, by reading some books. So you have to try and learn from every single situation possible. By summing up all that together, you can make your own content. You can create your own sentences based on your interest, right? So in order to do that, we should try and remain as a learner always, so that we can learn from every single situation possible. And this is a very important tip I'm telling you. It can actually make a lot of difference to your English. And trust me when I say this, because this helped me to a great extent. So this is tip number 3. So that is it for the video, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Try and follow all the 3 tips that I've told you in today's video. They could be very basic, I'm telling you, but they make a lot of difference in your practice. They made a lot of difference in my practice, and I have seen results for myself. So that's what made me to talk about all those tips in today's video. I will see you guys very soon. Do let me know in the comment section how did you like the video. I will see you soon. Till then, you take care. I will see you soon. Bye.